Hi scrappy friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we're working on day 2 of my October daily. Been having some tech issues with my internet and my computer the last few days, so I wanted to get this up a few days earlier and did not. And I don't have a tech support person other than my husband, so I had to wait till he got off work to handle that. But that's okay, no big deal. So this page turns out in the end great, but I really had kind of a brain fart about it in that I printed off this large picture of myself with a bouquet of flowers from the farmer's market. I then printed off 2 other pictures because I wanted to do a double page spread. When I got to my table, it dawned on me, wait a second, this is supposed to be a 1-page spread across from my number 1 story. And I was really confused why I was thinking it would be a double page spread. Well, it took me quite a while to figure it out, and I made some adjustments, but in the end what had happened was I was planning to do my bucket list for day 2, which would have been 1 page. This would have been day 3 on the other side in a double page. In the end, I think what I make work is actually better. My story 1 was very Halloween focused. This is very fall focused, and they wouldn't have actually looked good next to each other. So what I end up doing is pulling out this Citrus Twist Life Crafted page protector, and I'm going to make kind of an insert between day 1 and day 2. I'm also using a lot of Colorcast design products, some from last year, some from this year, to put the spread together. So the back side of this pocket page is actually going to be a decorative page related to day 1, and it'll be part of this video because it was an afterthought and not necessarily my plan for that day. So now I'm trying to decide if I like this October is my favorite in kind of the maroon purpley color, or if I like the One Fall Day. I actually like them both. I think they both would have completely worked. They both have color matches to items in the picture. In the end, I choose this October is my favorite, and I believe that's from this year, because I like how the kind of reddish, pinkish color goes with the color of the darker flowers in the picture. It's not an exact match, but I think it goes really well, and I like how it blends. I end up also using these acrylic leaves. These may have been from last year. I have actually mixed all my Colorcast designs together by season, and I did that before I realized that I might want to know what year they were from. Now, I think off camera had tried some different leaves, some wood, more wood design ones, sort of like the circles, and they popped more, but I actually liked how these yellow and light, kind of whitish yellow looked with the flowers. So now I'm working on the back side, trying to figure out what I want to do as a coordinating page for my day 1. And this is really just going to be product play. I am not going to do much. Well, I am back. My video cut off, and now I'm back to my original pocket page. So what I'm doing is I had gone away and I had finished my journaling. I wanted to do that first before finishing up the pocket to make sure if my journaling would fit in a 2x2 square. I did it in Photoshop. I colored the background to match part of the yellow in the flower, typed up my journaling about getting some gorgeous flowers at the farmer's market and it really putting me in the fall mood. I'm now putting the items in the pockets. I ended up moving the circles, the wood circles, because I didn't want all my square pieces to be in the same quadrant. So now I'm back to my more Halloween side, playing around with some pieces. I cut some circles out to match the size of the wood veneer pieces. I am using this photoplay collection, and so I just pulled out some paper that I thought would coordinate well, that added some pops of color. And now I'm trying to figure out what stickers or embellishment pieces I want to put on top to just give it some fun and play with product and just make it look snazzy. So I am going to play around with that for a little bit. What I really did is I went to the sticker sheet and I pulled out a few things that I knew I wouldn't use. I end up not using that moth, but that kitty cat with the hat is adorable, but I don't have cats. I'm not a big cat person, and so I was like, this would be a perfect place to use it because it's just going to be decoration. And then I found a couple circle stickers that I could use for the center of the wood veneer pieces on top of the cut paper. I think at the top I did Are You Scared Yet? I think is what the sticker is. I thought it looked really good on the white and black pumpkins. Now these wood veneer pieces are adhesive backed. And so what I had done is just took off the adhesive back, added the paper, and then it wasn't lining up quite right, so I just used some scissors to trim it off, and it looks good on both sides. So I really like that. We're just finishing up some of the embellishment. That black square that you see, I cut that to size off camera. It was actually, I believe, a 3x4 card. It says, "There is a magic at night when pumpkins glow by moonlight." I thought that was just a cute saying. It goes with the moon on the other side and the ghosts kind of flying around. And again, it was just a fun card that I probably wouldn't have used somewhere else, but I did like the saying, and so it was a great way to use up some product. The last two squares, I want to do sequin pockets. I have this little container of sequins that I've had in my stash for a long time. They don't have a name on them, like a brand name, and it's just a mix and match. Now what's going to be tricky about this is the one side of the pocket page is very Halloween themed. The back side is more fall. So what I'm doing is I am pulling out anything that is overly Halloween, bats, pumpkins, or I should say jack-o'-lanterns, because I don't want those very Halloween themed items showing through onto my fall side. So what I've stuck with are the gold sequins, purple sequins, some orange sequins, and some really tiny black, they're not really sequins, little glitter pieces, I think, because those go with both designs. So what you see is I have pulled out my fuse tool. I tend to use this mostly when I'm doing mini albums or just fun creative projects. I should pull it out more, and maybe I'll try to make that a goal. But after I get the sequins in enough, I want enough that they can add some sparkle and shake around, but not so much that it fills up the pocket. So I just kind of play around, and when I get them the way I want, I will fuse them closed. Now, one thing with the fuse tool, if you have one or if you're thinking about getting one, I do really like it and highly recommend it. I do think there's a little bit of a learning curve, and not very much. I mean, it's a pretty simple, straightforward tool. But what I think is important to learn, and I've had trial and error with it, is you need to move it across your plastic piece not too fast and not too slow. Now that's not very descriptive, and that's what makes it kind of challenging. If you go too slow, the heat will melt the plastic and cause a hole. If you go too fast, it will not adhere, it will not seal. So that's where the concept of not too fast, not too slow comes in. And it's just a lot of trial and error. I've done many little projects with it, and I think I finally figured out the right pressure and speed to do it in, but we'll see. So now I am putting my pages into my album. I'm using a Citrus Twist 6x8 album for this project because I wanted an orange album. I thought that was great. I've got this older card in that I know I want to use later on in the album, so I'm just moving it around. I just want to see how everything looks. So we've got my title page, my day 1, my day 2, and it dawns on me I have not put an actual 2 on here. The green card is an Ellie Studio card that I cut down to get a 2x2 pocket. I think that was a great way to use it. I have a ton of cards that I'm never going to use, and so that was perfect to cut it down. The green goes with the leaves and the colors in the picture. Now I'm trying to use, find a number, and I don't really like the white or the black. It's just a little too bold. Doesn't really go with the spread. So I'm going through my number bin. They're kind of big. They're silver. They're not working. And then I find this cork, number 2. Now I don't have any other cork on the page, but I do think the brown in the cork matches the brown in the wood veneer. So that's what I end up going with, and I think it does work out in the end. So if you have any questions about this spread or about the products I use, leave me a message below. I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you so much for checking out my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.